Sam Logue here for Green Blood Boxing. I'm delighted to be joined by Steve and Ormond today in the Colosseum gym. Steve, how's it going?
Great, it's a pleasure. Sam.
Tell you, man, thanks for joining me today. Come here, I've been looking forward to talking to you for quite a long time, to be honest. Like, I think you've had such an interesting career, a lot of stories to tell, and like a kind of an interesting story in terms of, I think you'd probably agree, a guy who probably could have achieved more than he had the opportunity to.
Yeah. That's Simon says. Yeah. I thought I should have been World Champion, but these things happen, and this and that. Like, I gave it everything, but things out of me control as well. Sometimes it didn't happen, and I got beaten as well by Terry Flanagan, which I thought was the eliminator. I lost the head, so there's little things that, but like another opportunities now I had as well. Yeah. But it is what it is. That's life, isn't it?
It just happens the way it happens, doesn't it? You can't control it. But I want to touch deeper into that later. But I suppose the first thing to talk about is big news for the gym over the last few weeks or last couple of months was Luke Keeler got his title shot against Demetrius Andrade in Miami. They fought last night or the early hours of this morning, and unfortunately it didn't go Luke's way. He was stopped in the 9th round after being knocked down a couple of times in the first and second round. What did you think of the fight?
Well, a couple of hours sleep I only had, so I'm still tired. But no, I woke up to watch Luke fight. Listen, it was a warrior. He got caught, and it's hard to try and recover as well. But just the guy was like, he showed his class, you know. And it's Luke's first time fighting a world title, which what a great opportunity, a big fight from him in Miami. Great, well done to him, you know. And he showed he didn't give up, just kept going. The referee had to stop it, so. Should be proud of that, you know. Should be proud of that. Yeah. But
he definitely should be proud of that, I think. I mean, he gave such a brave effort. What do you think were the kind of the deciding factors or the most important factors in kind of in Andrade's kind of ability to shut Keeler out? Like, Luke was never really able to land any big shots on him. Every time he got close, it was very scrappy. He was kind of throwing short shots. You couldn't really get any clean shots off on him. What do you attribute that to in terms of maybe what Keeler couldn't do or what Andrade did really well?
Okay, listen, Luke done all he could do. Andrade was keeping him at distance. Them long arms, experience. Just know he was controlling, keeping him at distance. And I know it looks like you could say he could do this and that, but when you're in there, it's a different story. Yeah. Especially when you're fighting a fellow, 3 times world champion. Yeah. He knows how to keep a distance, how to set you up for them shots. And you're waiting for that big left hand because he's southpaw. Yeah. And he can switch as well, big long arms. So you're trying to go forward and trying to attack him, but you don't know what's going to come back at you, know. So you have to be very cagey. And he was deadly at that, you know, Andre. That's his game, you know. So you can't let Luke at bay. But Luke tried. You know what I mean? That's all you want to, you know what I mean? Just try, give everything.
I think we spoke a little bit off camera about that kind of element of a lot of Irish guys throughout the last good few years and probably throughout time, and a lot of British guys as well. They kind of get thrust into world title fights when they're perhaps not ready. You know, they get rooted through a governing body, maybe the WBO in this case, and they don't fight that many high-level fights, and all of a sudden, but you're able to get a good ranking nonetheless, and then all of a sudden you're thrust into a world title fight.
But Luke, it wasn't like that. Luke fought all, he done what he had to do. He got to number one. He done it the way he should have done it. So, and with MTK behind him, it's back to my career. When I started off earlier on, I had an MTK behind me that they look at me, you know. But when they came along, it was great. But it was a bit longer, a bit too late in my career. But when you have them, you're an A-fighter. You know, to be fair, that's one thing, and they will get you the fight you need to get you to the top. So, but I know where you're coming from. Other fighters out there did get thrown in the deep end. Get a title shot, and then. But Luke, what's out to say this, he earned it all the up. So, you know.
I suppose what I was getting at there was, I think like Luke had a really good fight against Luis Arias, really good win.
Unbelievable, he's there at that fight, and that's the proof that was the proof that he could do it, you know. Yeah. Like, if you look at Arias, like you look at him before, geez, this fella looks this and that. Luke destroyed him. Yeah. So that proved it there. Just every fight is different, every style is different. And Andrade, he was a dangly 3-time world champ, but he was long, and Luke's first time fight, he just kept him at bay. He knew how to keep his distance. the judge's distance, just a little bit. I know people looking on the outside going, what do you mean? But like, we had to be in there to know that it's all how inches boxing, you know what I mean? And being patient and all, it's all about that. And he was so good at just setting him up. And Luke, anytime Luke went to him, that big left hand's on the top, you know, so it's one of those things.
Definitely, I mean, he had a lot of good variation, didn't he? And it was difficult for Luke then to kind of get in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Especially being a southpaw, I know all about him. And he's big southpaw, big long arm, and he's fast, and he's all over the place, so you don't know where the shots are coming from. And he could whack as well, so, you know, it was one of those things.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I think we can all agree that, like, Luke gave a good account of himself, didn't he?
That's all. He proud of himself. He went there, didn't give up.
Yeah, and I think like he can learn a lot from that fight as well.
He always learns in defeats. You know, he's gonna learn more now. And you know, he come again.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he'll definitely come again. I think he definitely has the ability, and he's shown in 2 years as a full-time athlete with Pete Taylor how far he's come on.
Some improvement in 2 years, like some improvement with Pete and the lads, you know. So, and I've seen him training here in the gym, and there's one thing about Pete's fighters, they're the fittest in the world. All that messing, no messing. Pete has them all structured right, has them all on the plan, and every individual do that, but he has to work around everyone. So he's good. He's very good what he does, you know. So
100%. As fit as you, Steve?
Well, I'm fit now.
You were obviously well renowned for being ridiculously fit.
Yeah. Well, that's even myself now. I just like to keep training. So you know, but it was always, that's one thing about it, a good engine.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So come here, let's get into, I mean, as I said at the start there, I wanted to speak to you about your career for quite a while. You've obviously made the transition into coaching. You retired in, I think it was around June last year.
Yeah,
7 months ago. And come here, just talk to me about the transition into coaching, about coaching itself. I mean, what exactly are you doing? We spoke off camera, you're coaching kind of all levels, all abilities, and you seem to be enjoying it. So speak to me a bit about that.
Yeah, I'll just take everyone on. Learn with the box, get them fit, have fun. If they want to go further, if say a kid, girl or boy, geez, they got something, and they want to go further, I'll guide them the right way, you know. But I'll take everyone on, try them. Just want to have fun with them all, let them all learn, you know what I mean. Listen, I remember putting a pair of pads on me 7 months ago when I was retired, and I never thought I was going to coach, because so much growth in my own career that I couldn't see anything else, only myself fighting. No, that's what you have to be. So we start, the other end of it, I start putting the pads on. I recommend everybody should go to their coach when they're fighting. Because what I've learned from correcting my own mistakes, I was like, do pads and I'm doing, I should be doing that. So I'm seeing it from a different angle now. And I'm correcting what I should have been doing, you know. 100%. So it's with that now, you get a different view, you know.
That's really interesting that you say that, because I have a bit of experience coaching myself, and it is one of those things that people don't realise. When you start to try and teach someone else something, that you can actually see, oh, maybe it should be done that way, or I should do it this way, or you can learn about yourself as well. It can actually help you. It can be helpful rather than a hindrance. Really,
that's one thing I would recommend any young fighters come. Get into coaching as well. Help out with even the gym. I never did. I was so much of my own thing, but like, your eyes have opened the coaching now, and there's just so much little things, and you're always testing yourself as well. I want to keep learning. You know, because just because what I learned and what I want to unlearn, what I learned, some stuff I learned, and correct it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I keep learning off every coach has something. There's always something. No ego. There's much of no ego, and take some off everybody.
100%. Yeah. I suppose at that stage then it's just about kind of filtering out what you know is wrong and taking in what you think, no, that's a really good point, or that makes sense, or whatever it may be. I suppose that's really interesting to hear you say that, actually. I want to pick up on that. You said you never really thought about getting into coaching beforehand. And was that, as you say, was that just because you had a pure drive for, like, in terms of your fighting career, or was there also, like you were blinkers?
Other than being a world champion, and even me missus at home with the kids, I'd be in the house and I'd be gone all day, and I was going away all the time. I don't know how she put me, but it was just so much. That's all I could see. I wasn't seeing the opportunities around me. Loads of opportunities. I just didn't see it. I just thought it was only one thing, you know. And
was it just that, or was it also that you kind of never seen yourself in that kind of teaching role, or did you think that I would I can't teach. I mean, I'm sure at some stage throughout your career you would have been talking to other fighters or whatever and kind of giving tips.
Yeah,
and stuff.
giving it tips and all, but still wasn't thinking down the long run about being a coach.
No.
And really, as I was saying, I put the pads on. I couldn't even know what I was doing.
that kind of coordination. Yeah.
But down here, it's like I used to hit them all the time. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was laughing. Like, but I was thinking, hold on, I better get good at this. So then,
100%.
and then it's good because you get different characters. So you're like so many through the day, and then you're talking. Like, some people just come to train, they want to feel good. Some want to learn, so you want to mix it up. So you get it's, once you see that they're happy, you know what I mean. It makes you happy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's brilliant, man. And it's nice that you can kind of get that. That's the side of boxing that you never experienced, that you seem to be really enjoying now, which is really nice. It's obviously very positive, because I presume it would have been really difficult when you decided to retire. Can you talk to me a little bit about the decision to retire?
Well, I just which I thought he won the fight, my last fight. It was close. It was
against Craig Evans, is that right?
I thought he won the fight, done everything right to win it. Very close, but he was champion in Wales, so fair enough, give it to him. Yeah. But I just knew before that this is my last fight, and because I was people that was saying why I didn't say why at the time why I retired, but it was my eyes. I've been blagging my way through the medicals the last few years about my eyes. My eyes are grand, changing the things along the way. I won't say much.
Yeah, better let's not say too much on that one.
I have a fortnight palsy, but as you see, I'm looking at you now, see up and down, two of everything, and it's so annoying. But I'm still waiting to get an operation on it, so doing tests on it. So that's over boxing. So with that and all, I was saying, when am I going to stop? When am I going to just do this to prepare to die in the ring? And I even think I've thought of it. The last 4 years of my career, I was avoiding sparring sometimes. I was only sparring when I needed sparring. I wasn't, because I was thinking about my health. And so I knew. And then I just thought, like, that's all I was boxing. But then I didn't realise that when I stepped away from fighting, I'm still in the gym, I'm around boxing, and I'm training. And I don't have to do any more diets, so that's even better. So you
get in here in the morning, you had a nice fry up before you. Come here. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think it's, as you said, it's not something that a lot of people knew about. I don't think you didn't really shed too much light on it at the time about the eye situation. Was it predominantly that, or was it I mean, look, you had a few really close fights, as you said there, with Craig Evans and also with Paul Hyland Jr., which, I mean, pretty much everybody who saw that said, like, basically it was a robbery. Like,
I used to get real upset when I get robbed, but I wouldn't get it, you know what I mean? But I'd say, I was so used to go, relax, it's only a fight. But that's what I thought, it was only a fight. People go, no, you got robbed again. But I said, I don't care. I didn't care. Because I knew I was so used to it. But no, listen, no ill feelings now over. It is what it is. Yeah. I learned, I'm going to pass it on in coaching. And we go there, you know. Yeah.
That's the best attitude to have, really, isn't it? That you're not it seems that you haven't taken any bitterness towards your career.
Yeah, I used to get bitter over little things, like, as growing up, like, boxing stuff, but at the end of the day, who cares? Like, it's just, there's so much things going on in the world anyway. Do you know what I mean? There's life. There's more to life than just boxing, which I never thought that.
I think you're kind of showing here, you're kind of the epitome of modest, to be honest, because at least from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem that a lot of boxers are like high level guys, and you were a high level fighter, like, have that kind of attitude, you know, that kind of, it doesn't matter, there's other stuff going on in the world. That's a really interesting thing.
It's just, it is, but it's true. Like,
it's just the way it is.
I don't know, it just makes sense, doesn't it? Like, and I was like that the last few years, but like, even though I put everything into it, like the forcing gym the last now, I just live and breathe it. But then when I was outside the ring, I was so much growth to boxing, it wasn't normal even being, didn't have to be normal. Like, in the outside, like, it's my family and all, like, just, I was so, like, boxing. Now I'm relaxed now, and everyone's happy at home, so, you know what I mean?
That's excellent. Come here, I did want to touch on, and it could be a slightly touchy subject, but I'm interested to see kind of what your answers would be if you do want to answer the questions. Like, for me, you're the kind of guy who could have achieved a lot more. I think and one thing that really annoyed me, actually, like, as a fan watching you fight, and I think there was a lot of Irish guys like this, but you were the one that stood out, was you were really fan friendly to watch. Like, you had a really good style for TV, but you didn't seem to really get those opportunities. I know you were promoted by Frank Warren for quite a while. I couldn't tell you like the time period, but for quite a while, and obviously managed and trained by Pascal Collins.
I can tell you exactly what it was. Like, and that's before MDK or about. Which I wish you were more. I wish you were there. I wish they were around when I was there early in my career, and it would have been a different story because that's what it was. No disrespect to Pascal was my manager. He done the best he could do. Frank Wardley's a promoter, so he's just promoting it. But he'd keep. I hadn't got a good manager behind me. Don't say good. Don't mean that in a negative way to pass. Like someone like with a bigger name and who could force a foot like MDK. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's where. But he passed done the best he could do. You know, but
perhaps he was slightly limited in where he could push and how good a deal he could get, etc.
What to do, but like he got the power behind him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of power move.
With MDK, they were able to make sure you weren't the B for you were the A for, and you always were win or lose. You will not. I wouldn't say you're A for you. If you're fighting one of these fighters, you're treated the same. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But Frank Gordon, when I was there, treated me like shit at times. He did, like you know, he keep in the fights, but he wouldn't let you know so many weeks, so many months, and he'd spring a fight in you, or he'd keep you out of the ring for a bit, and when you're waiting to get fights, he keep telling you, we'll soon. You fight for months, train for months for no fight. Yeah. When they're so young, should be getting the fights every few months, you know. When MDK though, you would have get them, but listen, whoever's with MDK now, being a young 40, they're in good hands. You know?
I think it seems to be that the main thing is MTK. They're putting on a lot of shows themselves, and as I say, as a managerial group, they have so much power that they're keeping the guys active, and that seems to be the big thing.
That's it, keeping them active. You're a young fella coming up. That's what you want. You want to be kept active.
Fight. Yeah.
That's what I bring on. Like when I hadn't got that, just waiting and Passer's trying his best, and he's telling me, he'll get back to me. Like it's something to do with him. He was trying his best. But Frank Gordon is leaving. Yeah, whatever. Irish fella, blah blah blah. You get a call, you know, kind of way. Whatever.
That's interesting because obviously he signed you to a deal, so he must have seen some value in having you in his stable. So what do you think, if you do have an opinion on it, like what do you think it actually was that kept you out of the ring from the promotional standpoint? So why were you not in the ring? Why were you not fighting? Why was he not building you as that kind of A-side fighter?
He's always trying to use me for he's always trying to use me for his fighters. Yeah. You know, but like I wouldn't get told. That's what I won my first title, European title. I got 5 weeks notice on it, and I supposed to fight Scott Harrison because he came back. Yeah. And then 3 days before he went missing on the drink. So he fought someone else. That's the only reason I got it. And then I got in. Then we started getting it. Yeah. We started defending it. But like the looks like I had to be ready, I suppose. You know. But like I'm not saying a lot of fighters have to do that. You know, jump in when you have to. But like that's the way it was. Yeah. And that's the way a lot of fighters won big titles. They were doing that. You know, taking shots. But it was just with me the way it was, and hadn't got MTK behind me at the time, and passed on a great job coaching me, and just because it was the manager at the part of it, he was a good manager. He knew, but he hadn't got as you said, the power. Yeah. That's all it was, you know. Yeah.
You then had a stint with Murphy's Boxing, if I'm right there. Yeah, and you had a couple of I'd say you had a couple of quite good wins, but probably your best little part of your career, at least from the outside looking in, was probably those couple of fights you had after the Terry Flanagan fight.
They looked at me and I got a won the IBF Intercontinental title against the big Puerto Rican fella or wherever he's from, one of the countries. Yeah. But I was going to get a fall for the eliminator, so I went over and I'd done everything right. I thought I'd done everything right. I had my strength coach, I had someone to watch me weight and stuff. But I didn't. I went over. I was just 3.5 pounds for the fight. I couldn't, and I did. Right. But I now I think where I was. I didn't weigh me food. That's the only thing I could think of. I was just like, that's the only thing I could think of at the time. And I changed, going off, flying over there because I couldn't get the 3.5 pounds out of me. And that was the biggest thing. Because then do you want me to lose so many pounds? I couldn't take 1 pound out. It was that bad. Yeah. I said I'll fight you for nothing. And obviously not gonna fight. Anyway, the fella went on. I fought. I had a step in 2 days later. Days notice, right? Ready to go, and I wouldn't mind. Not disrespect the fella, but he was 2 of them were very poor. So it was even looking like I was overweight up this way. I was looking, oh jeez, I would have gone through on that fella, you know. Oh man. But it's not like I was slacking or I was eating chocolate bars under the bed. I done everything right. I thought I did done everything right. I went over 2 weeks early to make the weight. Yeah. So
it's crazy the way that happens. Like it must have been quite demoralising for you, really, because you felt like you did absolutely everything correct and you made an extra effort.
Believe me, if I thought I've been an honest person. I always said, right, listen, I've done this and I've done that. Let's be honest. No, I taught everything right. And it's one of those things. So if there was someone looking, I missed weight, he must have been messing or out or something. But it was nothing like that at all. Yeah. I've done everything right. I spent extra money in my own camp to go over, to be out there early, do everything early. So I do everything right because it's a big fight. Yeah. But it was one of those things.
And it's funny that it can be something as small and kind of finicky and technical as weighing your food, like the actual weight of the food.
The last 2 weeks I was going to cut from, I always stop eating carbs when training's all done, so I usually stop a week out, but because I wanted to keep it, I was going over 2 weeks out, and I finished sparring off early, and I changed the diet from eating carbs and stuff to kind of a keto diet. Yeah. So I was eating me fats and me meat chicken, but I wasn't. I thought I could just eat it, so I'm guessing that I wasn't weighing it. That's the only thing I could think of, and my weight wouldn't move. But then I got my weight down. This is the funny thing about it, was because Bernard Hopkins had a weighing scale over there. I kind of got on, well, we didn't know, so I did get on with him. He could fight back to train with him, so in his gym, so we'll train back. And it's Bernard Hopkins, he's the most.
Bernard Hopkins, really?
Yeah, so he's the most dedicated and loyal to his weight. He knows what weight. His scales, I ain't going to tell a lie. Yeah. I was 3.5 pounds to go, a couple of hours ago. Had big mark, and I passed him. Had me in the shower, and I was trying to sweat it all out me, the ward and stuff. So I got a great swear up. Yeah. I was 3.5 pounds on his scales. Got all his scales. I think it was a pound to go, right? 2 hours ago, so we made it. We go to the gym. I jumped their scales, I was 3.5 pounds still over. So we were like, what? So then with that, they wanted to lose that, and I lost the head because I was so dehydrated. Like, I was getting the weight down, and then I just went up in the air. I went bananas. Well, I won't tell you the rest.
I'd say so. Jesus Christ.
Circle, I was going to kill him. Anyway.
Jesus, it sounds intense, and I think it's probably a big part of of boxers' careers and of the fight game that the kind of the fans, the people like me, don't know and don't see. You don't see this backstage, this suffering, this making weight at the last second. These kind of small things that happen. You thought you made the weight, as far as you were concerned, you made the weight, and then you go and somehow you haven't. And these are the small kind of. I have to say, you must be really mentally strong to keep going after that.
It was mad. I'm not mad conspiracy theorist, but they had a standby fighter in straight away, ready to go. At the minute, I didn't make the put him straight in. So I don't know. That was another thing. I was like, where did he come from? Yeah. He's ready to go straight away. Yeah. We're not gonna,
it would definitely, yeah.
Sounds like a good story, but it's true. That's what happened. We won't get to Mel Gibson on it. Experience to us.
No, but I think we've seen bits and pieces of corruption and stuff, and it wouldn't be out of the world that it could happen.
I should have had a in my pocket. That's why it's always them little things or something, or just carry one around me going over. So with the likes of that, I blame myself on that. Obviously, something like, but other than that, I done everything right. Yeah. I trained right, I sparred right, I thought I ate right, I done rest when I needed rest, I worked hard, I done everything right. Yeah. So it is what it is.
As I say, unfortunately, that's just the way it goes sometimes, and you can't control it, can you? That's it. I suppose one of the slightly more contentious things that I wanted to ask you, and feel free to not answer this if you don't want to, is kind of how do you feel? I mean, you're in the gym now with the likes of Pete Taylor, who's really, really highly regarded by everybody, it seems, even yourself. I know we've spoken off camera. You were with Pascal for your whole career. Who obviously is a very good trainer in his own right. Like, I don't mean any disrespect to Pascal in this sense, but do you think kind of now that you're retired and you're coaching yourself as well, which is a big thing, do you think that there's anything that you should have been doing or could have done differently in terms of your boxing ability, in terms of improving certain aspects of your game that maybe you weren't doing in the Celtic Warrior gym?
No, I wouldn't say that. There's a lot of stuff now I've learned in America, and then I learned off Pascal, and they're fairly same. There's a lot of inside fighting, there's a lot of knowledge there about Pascal, so yeah. I'm not going to disrespect and talk bad about him that way. Yeah. No, but there's always something to learn of someone.
100%.
And there's a lot of stuff I need to learn myself for my own coaching career. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'll learn as well. But no, I learned. I got the good out Pascal. I seen a good part of the girl. I learned a lot of good. So I wouldn't even disrespect myself. You know what I mean? Like that.
No, yeah, and I didn't even mean it in a disrespectful. You know what I mean? Yeah, no. But in terms of kind of, is there in your style, you're obviously a very come forward fighter. Is there anything that you would have changed about how you went about your business?
No, we just No, I wouldn't change that. And then when it comes to training wise around that. Now,
Yeah.
no, I thought that was good. You know, just for myself, I just from my own coaching, and I'm gonna be just. No, I won't say much about it.
Listen,
I don't walk the hall and say something I shouldn't say, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And I don't want to put you in that position, Steve. But look, I suppose the only other thing the other big thing I wanted to talk to you about was the gym itself, the Colosseum gym where we are today. Obviously, the gym it's booming at the moment. Under Pete Taylor, we've got the likes of Tyrone McKenna, Tyrone McCullough, big Tommy McCarthy, Declan Garrity's after moving over, Luke Keeler.
Before we say the owner, John, like, he's a good friend of mine. Without him, for putting everything on, because he's the lads need this, don't want to get the equipment and he'll get it. He wants to, and for the whole gym, the whole gym, the staff and the people, even in the gym, they're all good people, you know. And then you have, that's where the box, that's where we all blend together and they all work with each other, you know. So it's good.
And you feel like, I mean, I've been here a couple of times, and I have to say, I have the feeling in the gym it's so friendly. Like, I come in, everyone's kind of introducing themselves to me. I'm just a random kid.
All walks of life, and they all look at there's no ego, there's no one who's better than you or anything. It's all walks of life walking, and everyone's just, you walk in the gym, you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. That's the way it goes, you know.
And do you think that kind of atmosphere really helps the fighters and helps the atmosphere in the gym?
Helps them all, yeah. It does. Definitely, don't only go into the place where you feel a bad atmosphere. And not here, it's not like that here. It's great. It's like, you know, it's like my second home. So my missus says, so I'm never home.
Yeah, I mean, look, you'd be here at 6 o'clock in the morning, you were telling me, so yeah, I definitely your second home. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, just talking a little bit about Pete Taylor and the Colosseum gym itself. Obviously, we had a big influx of fighters recently. I mean, the likes of Tyrone McCullough, Tyrone McKenna, Tommy McCarthy, Declan Garrity, the likes of these guys. Obviously, Luke Keeler's already here, Gary Cully and some other young guys coming through. It's really been a crazy influx of really good fighters and a lot of young guys with massive potential as well. What do you kind of attribute that to with Pete? It seems to be mostly down to Pete and his kind of technical knowledge, by all accounts.
Yeah, and like, I think as well we see what he did with Luke, you know, as well. Like, the improvement now with Luke and all that stuff. I watch him. I don't train under people. I'm always here. Like, I'm friends of him. I know him years, but I just watch what he's doing. About programming and planning the fighters. So every individual have their own schedule and times and stuff. And like, I mean, like making weight, training program. Like, they're all different, and he looks at each one of them and he has a program on them all. He's very good. And he plans things out, and he's dedicated. Like, he lives and breathes it. Yeah. So obviously, when you see that, you know how hard he works. Yeah. They're gonna work hard for him, you know. Yeah. And
is there kind of that element of that technical knowledge of the game itself? You know, different small technical elements, you know, in terms of footwork, in terms of hand position, everything that he's just particularly knowledgeable in.
Yeah, he's very technical. You know, he watches little things, like he watches them little things, little things you might miss. But no, he watches and he's home and studies it. So brilliant, very well done to him, you know.
Yeah, and he's managing his group of 15 odd pro fighters very well, very, very well. But it looks of it, you were saying he's kind of has it all planned out of when they need to train, when they need to peak, and when they come back down, when they're fighting.
Peak, like, the trains are already give a few days off, come back to the gym, then you know exactly to the fight date. He knows how they're going to build them up. Yeah, you know, so very good. Yeah,
it's exceptional. So I suppose I just wanted to touch on a few of the guys in the gym have big fights coming up. We've got the two Tyrones who are in the Golden Contract tournament coming up. We also have Davey Oliver Joyce fighting tomorrow, and Gary Cully is fighting tomorrow as well, isn't he? Yeah. Let's touch on the Golden Contract first of all. I mean, we kind of spoke about it already off camera that the tournaments are really, really high level. I mean, Tyrone McKenna in the super lightweights is fighting. I mean, you've got a pick of O'Hara Davies or Mohammed Mahmoud there, the European champion.
Any one of them, could do it, yeah. So, and then Tyrone as well. He's a great character. Yeah. He loves a row. So you know he's gonna have a fight. You know. So and then you have the super bantamweights, is it? Yeah. Tyrone, another Tyrone. Unbelievable. It's flying on that. You can't catch him. Yeah. His feet, they're saying how fast a runner he is as well. So It's going to be. I don't know who's going to win. I'm going to have me falling up on the other people. I know Jazz Dickens is in as well. He's very good.
You've got Ryan Walsh and Lee Wood as well, which I think the super bantamweight's a really high level.
So it's hard to choose, obviously.
Yeah. Do you think that there's a matchup there for Tyrone McCullough that you would favour in the semi-final, kind of in terms of giving them the best chance to push to the final, or do you think it's all very even now at this stage? They're all kind of all as good as each other.
I suppose someone slow-footed trying to chase him.
Yeah,
that'd be great for Tyrone because he's so fast. So I'd actually think probably Lee Wood or something like that. Someone trying to chase him, someone coming at him, he needs to settle down to throw shots. Tyrone be gone. Something like that now would be good. I think for Tyrone. But other than that, it's very even. Isn't it? You know? Even like that guy, his styles make fights. Yeah. Like if you stand there with him, you're in trouble. But if you're a mover, that could be very good for Tyrone.
100%. Obviously, Davy Oliver Joyce was in the golden contract, and unfortunately lost to Lee Wood in the quarter final in a very good fight, very entertaining fight. He's fighting Lee Haskins this weekend, which is an unbelievable matchup in my opinion. Obviously, you've got Davy coming down from featherweight to super bantamweight, which is his natural weight by all accounts, and then you've got Lee Haskins, who you just said there, a former world champion, a really slick, lovely boxer, southpaw, coming up to super bantamweight. How do you see that one playing out?
It's like the opposite way around. He can be bigger and stronger because he's coming down from another way. Just as coming up. So I've seen Davey here, and I think he's probably the best camp I've seen him. He's always good. He's put everything into sparring and training. He's a very fit, unbelievable pro. But I think this time now he's on top. He's on fire. Yeah. You know, so I'll go with Davey this one.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be a size and the pressure element?
It could be messy. Getting banked, won't be a few heads getting smacked and all, but then again, Junior is a world champ, ex-world champ, so who knows, you know. But I think Davey has this.
I think it's going to be a really entertaining fight to watch anyway.
I think Davey will break him down. Either, about 10 rounders or 10, 12 rounders, not 10 rounders, so could be late stoppage, I think. Or maybe we'll go on points, but I'm guessing late stoppage, break him down,
It's going to be an interesting one to watch, that's for sure. The other one that I wanted to ask you about was, and we think we'll leave it at that then, Steve, and thanks very much for doing the interview, I really appreciate it. John O'Carroll's fighting Scott Quigg coming up on 7th of March. I mean, for me, that's a great fight, a very fan-friendly fight again. You know Jono very well. How do you see that one going?
I think Jono's is a good pal. He's a great character, and he's tough, and he's very good with the coaches right now. I can't think of his name.
We know Albert is his first name. We know that his second name's a little bit tough to pronounce. But
I never met the man, but he looks like a great coach. And but he's doing with Jono. And Jono's gutsy, he's fairly known. And I think Jono can do this. I just think, as I said before about the other guy going to spar over Freddie Roaches and stuff. And I've heard reports around getting hurt by lighter weights. I don't know how true it is, but you know. But then again, he's ex-world champion. You can't take away with him. So I think I'll go with Jono with this one. Definitely go with Jono with this one. I think Jono will be too big for him. Yeah.
I mean, definitely have that another one of those kind of fights where you've got the more experienced and probably has fought consistently at a higher level. Scott Quigg, who's coming up though from fighting at super bantamweight to featherweight and now coming up to super featherweight, where Jono has fought against a really slick, really good southpaw in Tevin Farmer at super featherweight for the world title, and is at his natural weight here. So you kind of got that bigger John O'Carroll against quite a small Scott Quigg.
As well, he's non-stop throwing punches. He's relentless. I think with that as well, I think he'd be just too big for him. I'm not saying John would be a big puncher, but he's tough, and I just think he'll wear him down. You know?
Yeah, very, very good pressure fighter, like never lets up. I think he's said himself, he's working on kind of trying to educate that pressure a bit more, so not just to keep throwing the hands out.
As you said, educate pressure, just break him down. Just throw, you need to throw. Just don't throw just for the sake of throwing.
It could even be kind of something modelled somewhere along the lines of like a Golovkin, where he doesn't continuously throw punches, but he always cuts off the ring. He puts you under pressure all the time.
You're always watching. That's, as you said, educate pressure coming off. You watch him how he's stepping. You're constantly looking at his feet, his head, when he's going to attack me. That kind of stuff. You're anticipating the shot. It tires you out.
Steve, thanks very much for doing the interview. I appreciate it so much.
Go back
Look,
to bed now,
yeah, and hopefully we'll catch up again at some
All the
stage.
best. Thanks very
Thanks
much.
a lot, man.
Right.